The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Tired of ads crashing your comedy podcast party? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Just head to amazon.com/ad-free comedy to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads. Enjoy thousands of Acast shows ad-free for Prime subscribers. Some shows may have ads.
Previously on Roll Britannia.
Who's Milo?
He's my brother. Well, it's been probably over 2 years now since I last saw Milo.
I would quite like Jeff to get pretty drunk with Derek. Deciding you're twatted is not going to help you in Dungeons and Dragons.
And as you enter the shop, Argus, as if by magic, an Aarakocra appears. But not any standard-looking Aarakocra. This is a very strange-looking Aarakocra. He actually looks quite a lot like a goose. Aww. Is it time for you guys to go and spend some gold?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to Argus!
For 750 gold, I'd like to buy a smart-looking flat cap with the hint of a razor blade sewn into the peak. Anyone who wears the hat must succeed on a DC 15 wisdom saving throw or be afflicted with its effect. The gentleman's flat cap.
Is Bob's a magical
Tell us about
bag
Bob.
Of holding. Bob is a bag of holding. Bob acts like a standard bag of holding, but when a user, me, is trying to recover an item, on a 1, instead of the item, the player, me, will find a random small animal. Bob is a dick and will occasionally eject a random animal at the worst possible time.
Well, then I would like to speak to a manager because I have ordered 2. You can see on my
All
receipt
right,
right
Karen.
here.
Argus, like lightning, reaches over the counter and slaps you on the chest with something. A sticker that just says... Karen.
Oh, that is a lawsuit. Oh, you are going down.
Do you know who his husband is?
All caught up? Good. Let's get back to the action. Okay, so let's finish off our shopping then. Malrus, you wanted to buy something?
I did. Is everybody else finished buying stuff?
Well, I got my cape.
First.
Cool. There was only one, though.
You got one cape, and you've got another one on pre-order.
Do you want me
So you buying anything else?
Do you want me to tell what the cape does?
Yeah, go on. Let's go. Let's do that. What does the cape do?
What does the Karen sticker do?
Nothing. It just says Karen.
Gives him a 10% increase to all of his prices.
Jeff gets up off the ground, a little bit winded from being hit in the chest by a Karen sticker.
Right in the solar plexus.
So he peels off the sticker and...
There's a pin-on badge and it went straight through the shirt.
Oh.
He's punctured a lung. Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff, I didn't realise you were
It's not. It was a
18
sticker. It was a sticker. It was a sticker.
So Jeff stares at his chest in horror as he isn't quite sure what to do, but requests that Malrus comes over quite quickly.
No, it's a sticker. It's a sticker.
Anything you can...
Who's Karen?
He has a momentary lapse and realises, whoa, that drink probably hit me. I shouldn't have had that last shot of whiskey. That is just a sticker. At which point he peels it off and flings it to the floor, not caring about littering laws, because fuck our goose. Fuck yourself. Break my arm. Bring it, bitch. Jeff's not taking any more shit right now. Casper, go back there. I want you to try and find some interesting shit. Just tell me. I want to know some dirt on Argus. Go and find his break. In fact, Casper, go to the break room of Argus. I want to know.
Find out if he's cheating on his wife.
I want you to go into the locker in the break room of Argus. I want you to find out anything of interest that you can about this goose. I need to know anything and everything that there is of manipulation or just control over this goose. Just you go do that. I'm going to choose another item. Hang on a sec.
Okay.
At which point Jeff goes, cheers, mate. Thanks, Casper. Really appreciate your help.
What noise does he make when he walks off? That's my favourite noise.
Why is he talking to himself again?
Such an amazing little character. So he's off doing some hijacking and investigation for me.
Yeah, go.
I need another Stone of Far Speech because I'm pretty sure mine was in the room that got blown up.
Sure was.
Yeah.
So,
you lost yours. Yeah.
Stone of Far Speech, Malrus, that was a 44, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
You're paying full price for yours because you don't want to trade it in.
Oh no! It's such a terrible
Rose
turn of
gold is the only
events.
colour left.
That's 1,300,
I got left?
and I can't get a second. I've got one on pre-order. Have I had to put any kind of deposit down on the second pre-order for the other?
Is there a cancellation fee?
10% deposit.
Non-refundable deposit.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
I was going to say, you were about to lose a sale right there, young man.
It's fine.
Right,
you're going to virtually lose a virtual sale. Virtual.
Another 10% sale.
Jeff, you could always, take the other one and leave the label on. And make sure it doesn't get damaged, and wear it, and then return it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking back to my
for full price.
I'm thinking back to my old sheriff's badge days when I was like, "Oh, look how shiny and nice I'm keeping that," and then boom, fucked.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm getting two while they're on discount, but if they stay at discount, so
they don't have any in stock. Just order and let this goose alone. Yeah. Come on,
listen. Right, I'm gonna get a couple of cans of them monster shit. No, it's not monster.
Dragon.
Dragon, yeah.
Dragon energy. Yep.
For legality reasons, the monster is a dragon. I'm gonna get two of those.
Cool.
That's 1.5. And I'm pre-ordering 50 as well, so that's another 50. 1.5.
Pre-ordering 50.
Well, I'm pre-ordering not 50 cans. Was it a £50 deposit?
No, it's no deposit. It's fine.
No deposit.
Okay. All right, just 1,500 then. I've still got so it's minus the take away the VAT. And
he's still drunk, isn't he?
A single tear trickles down Argus's eye as he realizes that he's met the Karen that he cannot defeat.
Excuse me, does this include the local store postcode discount? Because I've been living within a very, very close proximity to this exact store for a number of months now, and I feel like the noise of the honking constantly, like the machinery.
You know what, mate? Keep the change. I'm just going to haul Jeff bodily away. Not in an aggressive way. I'm just going to take him.
We're lucky that a random animal has.
Jeff turns to Derek as he's being dragged away and goes, "I just need to give him my piece of paper," and then heads back to the counter. Grabs his piece of paper and fills out 44.
Yeah.
And circles it.
Yeah.
Times 1 minus 10% aggravation charge. And then writes down number 89.
Right.
800 times 2. 1 plus back order. ASAP. Do not allow to come through in green. Must be in black. And then hands it to Argus and says, obviously I can expect a 10 gold piece voucher for my troubles today.
He looks at you, looks at the paper, and reaches below the counter for a different stamp. And it's the stamp, when he stamps it, says plus 20% arrogance tax. And holds out his hand for gold.
Jeff pops.
That's mad.
Jeff peels a sticker off and just.
Jeff, is that 20% including the 10% discount, or is that? Maybe you should clarify that with the Argoose, man.
Derek, Malrus, and Keth, your numbers have all been called, and all your items are there for collection.
It's been a long time. Oh, your Stone of Fire Speech looks pretty nice.
It is, isn't it? It looks great.
You got your 10% traded, right?
Yeah.
10%. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That looks really smart.
Jeff wanders over to Malrus, where he says, earlier I set my email account up to your Stone of Far Speech account. Can you just check if my Argoose orders have been processed? Because I'm pretty sure they have, but I just need to go and collect them. I just need the number.
I haven't got any emails in whatsoever. What's
an email?
What isn't even an email?
It's just a stone you can talk into.
Jeff, are you all right? You were talking to yourself.
I'm gonna
covered in stickers.
whilst I'm up at the counter.
Jeff,
by the way,
wanders to the bank to Nat20 and checks that his account has actually had withdrawals for Argoose for various different amounts. Wanders back in with printed receipts from Nat20 to Argoose to say, I've had my account charged for various items. I would like my products, please. And
you haven't had them processed.
Well, then why not? Because I've been charged for them. Why have you not processed them? You've already charged me for the products. You've charged me for the products. Look, I've got this reservation fee here.
You're lucky to be getting out with one cape.
I've got a cape here. There's a reservation fee for another cape here.
Roll
Roll
dexterity saving throw.
Pub, please.
What,
dexterity saving?
Yes, dexterity saving throw.
With that in mind, Kev,
maybe
you want to have a look at this.
With my
9.
In this large box that I've got here.
Jeff, you are standing arguing with a goose who has no idea what you're talking about. And you suddenly find yourself outside the shop on your ass. And you're not entirely sure what has happened. But to everyone else, what happened was quite entertaining. The rest of you saw our goose reach below the counter and make a motion like he was pressing a button, at which point Jeff flew backwards away from the counter, the full length of the store, and was ragdolled out of the front door.
Has he just been barred from Argoose?
Is that what that sticker meant?
And he took 4 points of damage.
Seriously,
at this point, I'm just going to walk up to the counter and slap another ticket on for number 2.
Yep.
This is definitely a healing potion. And I'm going to hand over 500 gold.
And Argoose takes the money, stamps your ticket, and the number says 1.
Excellent.
Keth.
And he turns around and picks it off the shelf and hands it to you immediately.
Thank you,
Argoose,
Mr. Goose.
That was amazing.
And looks at you gratefully.
I'm going to head outside to Jeff.
Jeff is appearing, sort of regaining consciousness outside of Argoose at this point. And as he sort of wakes up, he sort of looks through the doors that are sort of opening and closing, because he's sort of sat just on the mat where it's...
Yeah.
I will walk out the opening and closing doors and hand you this
healing
potion that is definitely a healing potion. And go, here you go. It seems like you've been through a lot since you got back. You seem to be, taking damage left, right, and centre. Just
I mean, you've got
use
a couple
this
of black
wisely.
eyes now. You're bleeding from the nose.
I kind of wish you hadn't handed it to me, because I'm going to have to be true to what I was originally thinking was happening to Jeff, which was that he'd held his hand out and Casper had arrived back and he'd given him a little kiss and said, what do you want to tell me? So as far as it's happened, he's done that. Malrus has handed it, so he's definitely drunk whatever he's just been handed, because he thought it was Casper giving him a little kiss.
A healing potion. Okay, roll a d20.
As he's doing that,
he's a good boy, Casper. Drink.
Okay, roll
You're
d20.
trying your best, man. You're trying your best.
I know.
Oh, it's caught on an angle between a 14 and a 20.
Every time it slows down, it just keeps going.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 14.
14. Okay. Well, I've got some good news and some bad news. What would you like first? In fact, let's do the good news first.
Oh, nice.
Roll 1d4.
Okay. That's good news. Well, that's a 1.
Okay, you regain 2 points of health.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Jeff's
now roll D100.
It's all coming up, Jeff.
This is the centimetres by which your penis will shrink.
This could take a while. It is literally round.
It's still rolling.
For the ladies and gentlemen at home.
Okay.
What is a 49?
49. Let me have a look. See.
I have this table.
Chicken and chips with a side of extra fries.
No, it's not. It's not.
You have the table.
It's not. Have you got the table?
You have the table.
You can't speak for the next minute. When you try, pink bubbles float out of your mouth.
Did you
Did
you control my dice, James?
Blessed relief.
I swear it's sort of like,
What comes out his mouth?
Jeff's got pissed before recording and done a whole prequel. Let's shut him up. 49, fucker.
Yep.
What was it? I missed that.
Jeff can't speak for the next minute, and every time he tries, pink bubbles just float out of his mouth.
Excellent.
So as that happens outside, then Derek's gonna turn to Keth and go, "Look, I'm sorry you were disappointed with my gift. I got you something here. Open it when we get back in the room, I'd say.
Is it lingerie?
Actually, no. I'll tell you what.
Open it now.
No. Open it here. Open it here. We can have a couple on the way back to the room.
That sounds great. It says Ann Summers on the box. Should I be alarmed?
No, that's just the maker of it. Yeah.
Sounds awfully quiet out here.
It's wonderful.
A few pink bubbles have just drifted up into the air.
Very bubbly. Inside, Keth, you see an actual bathroom sink. Only some of the condensation is dripping into your hands as you see that it is filled with crushed ice. 12 golden bottles of not lager in this case, because it's Tom. What would Keth have?
Yeah, what would Keth have?
Ooh, he's a craft beer kind of guy.
Nice. Okay.
Essentially, when you take one, it will be replaced. So you
magically, a new one spawns in its place.
Magically reappears as Derek clinks a couple of things together and does that thing where he bangs on the surface of the counter and causes a massive chip in it, but the beer, thing goes off. But please, whatever you do, don't say these words. And I give him the instruction pamphlet that says, don't say these words. And it has the words, Carlsberg don't do D&D podcasts. But if they did, it would be called Roll Britannia on it. Because all hell's going to break loose. And here's the instruction pamphlet, and I'll just give him.
I'll definitely read that later. So I've got beer forever. And all I've got to do, all I'm not allowed to do is say that thing I'll never say.
Yeah.
No, don't say it. Just don't even think about saying it.
I've already forgotten what it was. All I
because
know
if you did say it, the sink would dispense a huge number of bottles of beer. In fact, it would be a number equivalent to the current number of downloads this podcast has had. The sink, if the sink is in a container that is too small to contain that number of bottles of beer, then the sink will pause its dispensing of bottles until more space becomes available. So if for example, you were in a room and at present the sink would need to dispense 22,400 and something bottles of beer.
But we can make that much more dangerous, people, if you...
We could, yeah.
Tell
All you have to do is download
Let's
us more.
Let's open it at 100,000!
Yeah. But if you were in a room that could say only holds 10,000 bottles of beer, then the sink would dispense 10,000 bottles of beer and would have to wait until you, say, for example, opened a door, at which point it would continue to dispense bottles of beer.
There's 10,000 bottles of beer on the roof, 10,000 bottles of beer.
Great.
You open a door and look a bit around, and there's now like 25,000 bottles of beer in the room.
So, yeah.
We shouldn't have done this. It was a bad idea.
But if you don't do that, you will forever have a source of cold beer. If you do use the magic words to dispel it, not only will you get all that beer, but the sink is also quite a nice sink and will be a fine addition to anyone's bathroom.
Yeah. So what I was thinking, Keth, is we could either keep this in the cabin, and then when we're out and about, we'll just pop in the wizard's sleeve for a couple of swift halves. And then we get back to the room, we've got nice chilled beer. Unless you want to carry it around with you. As you can see, it is a sink.
No, I'm going to attach this on the end of Bill's terrarium.
Ah, yeah, we can. And I could reach over you at night and just grab a nice frosty cold one.
Yes,
You
and
reach
one for
around.
me. We'll crack
Is
it
that
up
what
in
they're
their
calling
teeth,
it now?
Yeah,
and we'll recount our
absolutely.
adventures and give Bill a stroke
Amazing.
under the chin.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That sounds lovely, actually.
It sounds tremendous.
So I hope this makes up for... I did actually, and I will repeat this, I crafted it with my own hands, that pug. I spent a long time on it, but you didn't seem to like it, so maybe this makes us swear. All right, sound.
I'm very,
Now look at
very
this
grateful.
Now look at this new hat I bought. Maybe I should try it on. I'll wait a few minutes.
Okay. Very briefly, before we go any further,
Thank you.
Chip, out of character, what did you want to order?
I really just wanted a couple of cloaks and a stone of far speech, but I'm happy to accept a cloak and a stone. I'm happy to accept not being outside in the cold at this point.
There's only one
ideally-
cloak in stock, but if you want a stone of fast speech, you could.
Is there more than one of those?
There's plenty of stones of fast speech.
Oh,
Is there anything else you want to order? Very quickly.
I want some Minotaur power juice and some stone of far speechings and a cloak of slow mo, please.
Some dragon energy drink, stone of fast speech, and yeah. Okay.
That should
As
be
you're
about
sat there, Jeff, not
2.5.
able to speak, bubbles coming out of your mouth, and witnessing this handover of a beautiful sink full of ice
The
cold
click and
beers.
collect transfer goes through.
The doors to Argus opens. Argus himself is there, holding a contactless payment device. He holds it out to you.
And a restraining order.
He holds it out to you, and you tap something to it. Hopefully, not your penis. And and then he.
I take the stone of far speech
Goes,
4.0. Take a second to set it up. Set up my
It's
bank
a
details with it,
I
and then
guys,
scan.
I don't know how to say this. The stone of fast speech is a stone.
Detail.
It's not an iPhone. It's a stone. It has no screen and no buttons. It's a stone.
Yeah, but
iPhones don't have
yeah,
it.
they don't have any
and
buttons,
just
and they
use
still
that.
do contactless.
It's a
We did
stone.
contactless with a hand, James. How can we think a stone can't do the same?
It doesn't need setting up. It's a stone.
Okay, well then
It doesn't
instantly
need
I take the
setting
stone,
up.
and as I grab it, it's already set up to my body, and I instantly go wireless payment.
It's a bloody stone.
It's all paid for. Argus is looking quite angry at us now.
Argus's device goes beep. It charges your account for what you paid plus the digital payment charge fee for not having gold and for being a dick. He throws your packages at you, shuts the door, and sticks up a picture that has a picture of your face on it, and says "online orders only."
I've got myself barred from Argus.
Apart from Argus.
You know, Jeff. I'm gonna look down at Jeff's sort of shocked face and go, Jeff, if you were so inclined, we could always burn that place to the ground.
Some birds can't take a joke apparently, and this is just clearly an example of don't drink and buy. Like, don't do it.
So, as you're reeling in the results of your latest attempt at buying things, and most of your successful buying things, a voice comes over the tannoy, and it says, "Will Keith, Malrus, Jeff, and Derek please come to Timber's cabin?" That's Keith, Malrus, Jeff, and Derek to Timber's cabin, please.
Keth's just going to sit down and go, "No one's asked for me," and just crack open a beer.
I don't know who this Keith fella is, Keth, but
Neither do I.
Can you come along and watch my back as a favour to me?
Keep the sink under your arm.
Yeah, bring it with us.
I'm
Show
bringing
you
the
back.
sink. I'll bring the
Okay,
sink, but
come
I'm
on.
not going to go inside the office until I am personally addressed. But I will escort you to the office.
Okay, so
that'd
as
be
you
nice.
go as you go up, you go to Timber's office. Three of you go inside, and you hear Keth. You hear Timber's voice from inside. Just go, young Keth, are you joining us or are you staying outside?
Did you say Keth, Captain?
Well, as I understand it, that is your name.
That is correct. You need to sort out your PA system, though.
I'm afraid
coming
that's
in.
Barbara. She's terrible eyesight as Barbara. I hand her pieces of paper with your names on, and unfortunately she can't read a lot of things. Anywho.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Come inside. I have
Fancy
matters
a
to
beer?
discuss.
I've got plenty.
Oh, thank you very much. He takes a beer from you. And
Malrus, do you want one as well?
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to fling a beer to everybody.
So you all
Jeff,
crack open a
I
beer.
think
Fantastic.
you've had enough, Jeff.
Jeff at this
Is he
point
still
has
talking
literally just
bubbles?
Got into the room and has essentially done that thing where you walk into the room and you feel your way through the doorway and you're like, yeah, I'm definitely in the room. The door's closed and you just sort of stood against the door and you're like, yeah, I'm here. It's all good.
Very unsteady.
Yeah. Just hold it on.
You have one big hiccup and a bunch of purple, pink bubbles pop out your mouth, and then the power of your speech returns. And
Hello.
Captain Timbers says, "Right, boys.
Right,
I understand it has been a challenging few days, and I'm sorry to say more challenges are to come.
There always are, Captain. You keep doing
I have had a long conversation with my friend Bluebeard here, and he has persuaded me that it is time for us to take some action, affirmative action, as it were, to reclaim some of the lands the Empire is taking away from us. As I'm sure you're aware, we carved out a small slice of land here in the Shattered Lands to call our own, and the Empire was none too pleased.
I heard. What was it called? What was the name of that place? Something's Creek, right? Or
not Shit's Creek, I'm afraid. No, that's
no,
a thing you can be up without a paddle. Anyway,
We often
there
find
was a
ourselves
place
there.
that got screwed up by them. I heard you talking about it earlier. Sorry, I'm still a little bit drunk. He's obviously worse for wear. But,
I can see that, my friend.
Jeff's thaumaturgy is a
Now-
slice of pizza. It's no relevance to anything, but he's got one. He feels happier.
We have a heading that I have decided upon with Bluebeard. It is a coordinated effort we shall have, but there is an island. It is currently being used as not so much a encampment for the Empire, but more a naval stopover. The island in question is called Nassau.
Nassau, okay.
Nassau.
There is a fortress there of sorts, but an island of unnatural abundance. A place where...
magical?
Maybe in nature, but certainly not in effect to our knowledge. It is just bountiful. There is food aplenty and water and many resources, which we believe we could use to create a community of sorts. And the greatest thing that we have known about this island is that it is very easily defendable. It is such that the Empire itself has not done so yet, because they intend to use the cove as a landing spot. But it has been decided that a ship of significant size could be used to block the bay and make the island all but impenetrable from the outside.
And could we stay there?
It may be that this may be an island for us to settle down. But
Take care
a
of your
joint
seasickness.
effort between the Tel Dath and the Lizzie's Revenge will be required.
Lizzie's Revenge. Yes.
I'm always happy to work with new people.
That's the Queen Elizabeth's Revenge,
May I
I realise
ask,
now.
the people that live on this island, right? You say it's a stopover. Is it a military encampment? Is there a town?
It is merely a fortress with...
So there's no civilian casualties, right?
To our knowledge, there is merely the Imperial employees.
Okay, so if we could get the lower rank employees to turn against, for example, their commanders, captains, I assume it's fairly well.
Boys,
guarded.
I appreciate your interest.
We can
in
overthrow the whole system, Captain.
And a political upheaval plan, but
I'm just a man with ambition, Captain. That's all I'm trying to say.
I'm afraid it will already take us over a month to get there, and I'm sorry to say we don't have the time to be messing about with that. The problem is, you see, that it is in fact a military stopover. If we take months to achieve this, it may be that many Imperial ships will be through there and will, as they say, spot us. So,
as they say,
Bluebeard has...
Time's not our friend.
Bluebeard has furnished me with what he believes to be the schedule. He acquired it from a ship that was all too willing to hand it over. I believe cannons were involved in the negotiations, but that is of no consequence. You see, the schedule tells us there is a 3-week gap between two of the more recent arrivals. That gives us a window, but it does mean we have a small window in which to achieve our goal. So, my objective is, and I'm hoping you will be on board with this, the Tel Dath and the Queen Elizabeth's Revenge will be, almost as you say, a decoy. Sailing and setting anchor just out of range of the guns from the fortress. But it seems that myself and Bluebeard have a few long-range cannons that may be able to cause difficulty. This will, in turn, provide certain amount of distraction, allowing you 4 boys to, well, let's just say, nip round the back and make your way to...
Smash their back doors in. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Keth.
Yes.
All over that, mate. Let's smash the back doors in. Smash the back doors in.
Nip round the back and take the governor hostage. It is our hope we can...
By smashing his back doors in.
Captain, Jeff, you'll remember this, right? When we last tried to talk to a governor or take them captive, it did not end that well.
I understand that to be the case.
I was on fire that day.
Yes, very good.
See?
Very good.
Even when he's gone, he's good.
And then Jeff just slumps into a corner and sort of closes his eyes slightly.
It will take us the best part of a month to get there. So, I suggest that you take your time, get prepared, get washed, recover yourselves, and be prepared to be, well, stealthy at first, but I think you must be prepared for a certain amount of resistance.
Of course.
I wish I'd bought that silencer now.
Well, we've got a month. You could save that for it. Wash a couple of dishes. Sell a couple of bottles of beer.
As you're having this conversation, there is a loud knocking at the cabin door. And Timbers, he says, enter. A member of the crew comes in carrying a pistol. And
Derek's hands immediately go up above his
he's
head.
not pointing it, but he is carrying it. He's not holstered it. He's holding it in his hand. And Timber says,
I'm just still doing that.
Old habits, Derek.
How may I help you?
Sorry.
And the crew member, he says, Captain Timbers, the crew would like a word. Ah, very good.
Oh.
Let us go then, boys. Would you accompany me?
This is what I wanted to ask about. Oh no, I'm so scared.
And
Timbers.
are you going with him?
Is this about what we heard on deck earlier?
I'm not sure what you heard on deck earlier, boy, but
Mutterings.
if you come with me, I'm sure all will become clear.
Where's Alan? Oh, where's Alan? I'm going to go with Timbers, just tugging on his sleeve, going, where's Alan? What's happened
Excuse
to
me,
Alan?
boy, I have captain things to do.
No, but where's Alan?
And you step outside, and on the main deck of the ship,
you said Alan was going to be
looking over the balustrade, you can see a large number of the crew assembled, and there appears to be a sort of adjutant among them who is...
what spells do I have?
Shouting about a lack of gold and prizes. Really, the crew has been shouting about the fact that most of what they've been doing is sailing to islands and waiting, and they signed on to take on the Empire and to make their fortune. At which point,
Derek's hand immediately goes to his holster, like just hovering.
And the voice, the adjutant within the group, he says, and if our captain can't solve our discrepancies and our problems, then perhaps he's not ready to be a captain. And Timber, and there's a big cheer and shout, and and Timbers steps up to the balustrade, and there's a sort of wave of quiet that sweeps out from him as he stands surveying the crowd.
I'd like to approach the balustrade, stay like a few paces behind him.
Yeah, me too.
And he says, Thank you, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand you have grievances. I understand you have a need for riches and excitement. And I understand the last few months have been less than exciting. But what would you have me do? And the adjutant speaks up and he says, You don't tell us anything. You just follow your own actions and never tell us what's going on. We haven't seen a piece of gold in months. Who do you think you are, calling yourself our captain? And Timbers, he very calmly just puts his hand on the hilt of his pistol, the grip.
Okay.
And he says,
seeing that, I'm also going to prepare myself.
I will too prepare myself.
Same with
David, my friend, you have been on this ship over 7 years now, and we have had many adventures together. But it seems, sir, that you believe you would make a better captain than I. Let me ask you, crew, have I brought you nothing but riches thus far? And there's a sort of murmuring of assent, and have I brought you adventure? And there's a sort of another muttering of assent. And,
I'm excited to try that Nando's.
have I brought you a Nando's?
Me too.
Wish the Argoose character wasn't so mean.
Have I brought you a shop of Argoose of many things?
I find that seller quite reasonable. Yes, he gives
Wish
a
it wasn't
good,
so
clear deal.
often out of stock. All of the good stuff's often out.
I got 50% off last week.
Cheerful service.
And he says he speaks to the crew and he says, I have no intention of telling every member of his crew every action I intend to undertake, but we are, as they say, a democracy here. So I will tell you one thing, and then if you still don't want me as captain, well, we can make arrangements. I can tell you now that in little over a month's time, there will be more action and more gold to be had than you can possibly imagine. We are sailing to an island that we intend to call home, but sirs, I cannot have this dissent among the ranks. So I will offer this one-time thing. If anyone among you thinks you will make a better captain than I will take you on in single combat. How says you?
Keth's going to
They'll have to go through us first.
Thank you very much, boys, but I can handle myself.
Keth is going to turn to Jeff and go, sit the fuck down. Don't say anything.
Jeff sort of stands up, but only to adjust his belt, but gets pushed back down by Keth. Like, don't fucking say anything.
And the adjutant, he says, I could definitely make a better captain than you.
Shoot him, Derek.
I believe
then,
the penalty
David.
of mutiny is death.
Ranger, hunter's mark.
We are of an agreement.
Not until the captain draws. I'm not drawing until he does.
A challenge has been raised, and I, as captain, am duty-bound to accept. Let us do this.
Holy shit. Watch this.
I want you to picture the scene. The Tel Dath is moored at sea at present, with the Queen Elizabeth's Revenge moored alongside. It's a relatively calm day. The ship is gently rocking back and forth ever so slightly, and the sun is beating down in this quite tropical environment. And as we look at the Tel Dath, we see the crew is all gathered around this sort of large opening in the centre of the ship, a sort of deep crevasse, a sort of box-shaped crevasse. And this is a space that would normally be covered by a sort of lattice work of wood. And you see now that this is pulled back, that this is where the crew would store cargo if it was carrying any on board the ship. As we zoom down into this pit, we see there are even more of the crew surrounding this opening and all sort of cheering and jeering and generally discussing what's going on. And we see in one particular corner, we see Timbers, Captain Salvo Mudem Timbers is removing his jacket and his pistols.
Oh, he's ripped.
And on the far side, in the opposite corner of this
Has he got a rip-away T-shirt?
It's not supposed to
does,
be, but
yeah,
he's
and
just
trousers.
that jacked.
They're all Velcro. Everything is Velcro.
It's from his days as a stripper, right?
Yeah. He has Velcro shoes. Hold on, that's normal.
I've never seen an 8-pack before. Look at that.
And in the far corner, we see a tall, slightly past his prime in terms of weight, balding man, human man with a scar across his face, similarly removing his jacket, and he seems to be surrounded by a group of like-minded fellows who all seem to be offering him their support. And around Timbers, we see 4 very different-looking people. We see a young teenage boy. We see a cleric halfling. We see a dwarf with no beard, and we see a shockingly short half-orc.
Less of the shockingly, just a bit.
It has been pretty shocking, though.
And
to you more
Timbers,
than anybody else, I think.
what are we saying? What are you saying to Timbers at this point? He seems to be set on taking on this challenge that's been issued to him.
Keth's going to have like the towel around his shoulders and a bucket ready next to him. He's like,
someone got a 3-legged stool as well.
Just saying indeterminate boxing things.
Yeah, I'm just taping his wrists off. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Just struggling to just sort of stay stood up with the fact that the boat's still obviously on the waves and rocking, and he's still feeling a little bit worse for wear. But
the alcohol's starting to come to the bad end of the drinking time.
Yeah, I shouldn't have stopped. That was the problem. We're definitely
carried on.
Jeff is realising that he's starting to feel that the hangovers might be a thing at this age, and that the fun-loving 19-year-old could be being replaced. I don't feel so great at the moment.
Are you seasick?
I think that. I said boats were. Remember when I said boats weren't my thing, man? I think it's becoming more apparent.
Keth, pass me that bucket quickly.
No, it's not for you.
Stay away from Timbers, Rob.
I'd rather you didn't do that, boys. I've got to concentrate here. Do you mind taking him elsewhere?
I'll get them,
Timbers. In the mindset.
Timbers, they'll stay away if you're sick on them. Trust me.
I'll take Jeff calmly by the shoulder and sort of lead him away from Timbers and go, look, mate, this is sort of the thing that I was talking about. You know, I need you to pull yourself together now. We're in quite a bit of a tricky situation.
Oh, man. Yeah, but we drank lots of...
Well, you did.
Yeah. There was lots of downing, and I lost at beer pong.
Well, you did, yeah, that's true. But I did say never play a dwarf at beer pong. It is sort of our national sport.
I didn't believe you.
Yeah, well, now you know. Now you know different. Look.
Good.
Should we dump a bucket of cold water over you, or should I slap you in the face, or...
Are you asking what should you do with a drunken sailor?
Is it early in the morning?
No, it's about 12 noon, Chip. I mean, Jeff. High noon, if you will.
Well, I'm starting to think that daytime drinking is not a good idea. I need to sort myself out. If I'm going to be any use to anyone, Derek, I don't feel like I'm going to be any use to anyone at any point, at any time soon.
I'm going to slap him across the face.
Over there.
Oh, cheers. Thanks for that, mate. I really needed that.
Pull yourself together, mate. You can do this.
Yeah.
You can beat this hangover. Yeah. You're better than that.
Right, where's Timbers? I won't be sick on anyone, I promise. I can help. Right.
If you're going to be sick over the side or on any... Okay, right.
I mean, you're not on deck. You're kind of in the cargo hold, so you're just being sick in the corner.
In a corner.
Oh, no.
But it's mainly liquid, so it's fine. It's just going to wash away.
It's just going to slosh around as the boat
the smell is going to... Oh, the smell is going to stay.
In the corner of a nightclub somewhere. I'm okay. Just slightly bleary eyes and off to the next room.
I'm good. Right. Show us back to Timbers, and Derek sort of leads me back to Timbers.
As you head back over to Timbers, you see a figure has joined your corner of support, as it were, and you see that it's the heavily armoured figure of Rita Glory. And she's saying to Timbers,
What's the story, Rita Glory?
And she
hasn't heard that one this morning at all.
She literally hasn't heard that in the last 10 minutes. And you hear her say to Captain Timbers, she says, Captain, are you sure about this? Rita, I've been challenged. A challenge is issued and you know the code. And what if he kills you? Stick to the code.
What's the code?
Never you mind. Just stick to it. And he turns...
Is he going to be captain if he kills you? Because I'm not on board with that, Captain Timbers.
Well, maybe there'll be another mutiny. Who knows? Timbers turns and he steps out into from the shadow of the corner he was in into the sun in this kind of open space in this sort of cargo hold, and he calls out to the crew. Without a megaphone, but loud enough so that shockingly loud for a figure of his stature, in fact, so that over the noise of the crew, all the hubbub and the cheering and jeering, he says, "Crew, I have lied to you. That is true, and that is because the quest we are on is of the utmost importance. As you know, the Empire is less than pleased about our little venture of independence. And so, they have been seeking a way to take back what we laid claim to, and to prevent us from ever laying claim to it again. But I did not trust you with all the information, and that was my mistake. I have to tell you that I too am yearning for a bit more excitement and adventure. And most of all, a place to call home. As grand as the mighty Tel Dath is, she is more of a home away from home. But without a home to go back to, that expression carries very little meaning. So I ask you, will you all sail with me and play the long game? Let us find a place to call home, and then let us set about plundering and pillaging those empirical sons of mothers for every ounce of gold that they have."
Huzzah!
And a cheer goes up. But there is a notable silence from one small area of the crowd. And Timbers turns to face the corner where his erstwhile adversary is stood with his cronies. And he says, "I note, however, there is still this matter of the dispute of my leadership. Now, Caden, we both know that there are only two ways to legally depose a captain. One is through popular vote, and I don't know about you, boyo, but I rather fancy my chances there. The other is, of course...
proportional representation, first past the post. What are we talking about here?
First blood to the torso.
The other is, of course, an accusation of weakness, followed by a challenge of one-on-one combat. Am I to surmise, based on your current behaviour, that you intend to accuse me of weakness?" And there is a moment's pause, and Caden, who was the adjutant you saw jeering the crowd up last time, says, "Well, damn will do. Then it is settled. Ooh. A fight it will be. If one of you boys will do the honour and give us a count of 3. And he's saying this to you four as he draws his sword, and Caden does the same, and they sort of stand towards the centre, but a good couple of swords lengths away from each other, facing each other.
Jeff wants to fish a coin out of his pocket because that's what happened last time. There was a coin flip or something, and he went super speed. So he's getting ready to start the flip of a coin on the 3 count. Okay. But he's not going to be the one to count.
Okay.
Derek's he's going to go. Well, if nobody else is going to take up this important responsibility, I guess I will.
We'll do it at the same time.
Okay, Keth. And then and Keth and I exchange sort of a glance as Derek's hands sort of go down to his holsters, and he's 1. Come on, Keth.
Sorry, I thought we were starting at the 3.
You know the next number.
Oh, okay. 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3. Is it 1, 2, 3 go, or 3, 2, 1 go?
Do you go on go, or do you go after go?
Do you go after go? Because really, that should be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I don't think
but nobody does
we've really
4.
visited Ready, Steady, Go.
Perhaps on your marks, get set. And I'll fire a pistol like a starting pistol.
Let's do that. What I'll do is I'll go 1.
On your marks.
1 on your marks. Okay, right.
3. Bang.
So, wait a minute. On your marks. I'm sorry. My brain can't take this.
Get set.
1, get
on
set.
Your marks.
On your marks. 2, see.
Derek fires his pistol in the air.
Jeff flips his coin.
What is happening?
Ping.
Just a countdown, one of you.
3.
You can't give us a simple
2.
test like that.
As you call 2, Caden swings his sword and, in the same movement, throws a handful of dust into Timber's eyes.
Hey, he went on 2.
As his cutlass swings down,
bastard.
Timbers manages to just about parry his sword away, and Caden lashes out with a boot and catches Timbers full in the stomach, doubling him over. And as Caden takes another swing, Timbers slashes wildly, winded and struggling to see, just catching Caden on the leg and rolling aside as Caden's blade again crashes down. Caden screams in fury as Timbers backs away across the space, trying to clear the dust from his eyes. As he steps back, though, he trips and falls prone. But luckily so, because as he falls, Caden's cutlass lunges forward and just catches Timbers in the stomach. A blow that, had he not been falling, would have been a severely brutal disemboweling. But now, laying prone as Caden bears down on him, Timbers lashes out with his boot and hits Caden full in the face. The sound of crunching bones can be heard around the whole ship as Caden's nose shatters and blood begins to spurt from his face. Howling in pain and gushing blood, Caden staggers back, allowing Timbers just enough time to stand up. Bleeding from the wound in his belly, Timbers stands, sword hanging at his side, and although the wound looks barely more than superficial to your eyes, it is producing a rather dramatic amount of blood. Timbers is staring at this wound in his gut, and then, as he raises his head to stare at Caden, who is clutching at his face, you see just for a moment a light in Timbers' eyes. And then he moves. The camera tracks round, and as Timbers runs full speed towards Caden, who now is appearing to move in slow motion, Caden is pulling his hands just away from his face to see just how much blood there is, and Timbers leaps and, flying through the air, begins to twist, twirling his sword as he passes Caden and landing just behind him with a full 360 flourish. And although there is almost a delay, we hear a sound like tearing silk. Timbers' face looks calm, but with just a hint of anger. And the world is frozen, and in that one moment, there is stillness. And then suddenly time catches up, and we see Caden staring into his hands past his swollen and bloody mess that was his nose, look helplessly as his hands detach themselves from his arms, and he collapses backwards as his legs from the knee do exactly the same. Blood pouring from his wrists and knees, he falls, and Timbers steps smartly aside, allowing the now screaming figure of Caden to collapse right behind him. Sheathing his sword, Timbers yells to the onlookers, "Right! Now that is settled, does anyone else have a challenge they would like to make? Or are we ready to claim our homeland?"
Go on, Keth.
Do you think now's a good time to ask when Nando's will be open?
Definitely. Definitely.
I mean,
You just see
free pudding for all.
You see Keth's hand sort of half raised, and then he sort of thinks better about it.
just go to scratch the back of his head, like, no, there's nothing.
I really hope Alan's okay.
Who?
Alan
I've
with
already
a Y.
forgotten his name.
Sorry, Alan with a Y. Alan with a Y, yeah.
There is
I really hope he's okay.
there is a moment of calm and pause, and then a cheer goes up from the crew because whatever you think of the result, I mean that was a damn good show. And Rita Glory approaches.
Cheering among the loudest.
Rita Glory approaches the captain again, and saluting smartly, she says, "Sir, what would you like me to do with that?" And without looking, he replies, "Keel haul him."
Ooh.
Rita salutes, turns, and signals to a few crew members who start to drag the screaming, now handless and shinless Caden away. Timbers strides away from you all.
Is he still alive? Sorry. You said he was screaming.
Yes.
He's still alive.
Well, he's got no hands and
his legs.
Yeah.
And
but it's a lot of blood.
It's all happened very
That
quickly.
dude is
It'll take a
badass.
while for him to lose it all.
Yeah.
It happened so fast that as the blade went through, it actually created so much friction that it sealed.
Yeah,
the
he
arteries.
cauterized it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Broke the sound
He's a
barriers. That went
blaze.
through.
It was just an arterial spray, and then that's done.
Yep. Timbers strides away
keel
from you
hauling will be
all,
fine.
still bleeding from the stomach, but not like gushing. But you can see sort of a trickle of blood just sort of staining that his tummy area. His poor little tummy's turning red. Oh, and he strides off back towards his office, and you see Starflower just sort of run to catch up with him, and you hear Timbers yell, "Get us underway! I will need you to fix this, but I appear to be bleeding." Aha! Welcome back, everybody. It's to your favourite part of the show. It's the Dungeon Master Takeover. Well, I mean, it's not really a takeover. You can't really take over something you're already in charge of. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Anyway, this is the bit where I get you all to myself for just a little while, so you can take a load off, open your ears, and get ready to hear all of my Dungeon Master wisdom. Such that it is. Anyway, first order of the Roll Britannia business is to give you all an enormous thank you. We're very, very honoured that you've chosen to listen to our piratical podcast, and we really appreciate every single one of you. The good old ship, our Roll Britannia, would have sunk without a trace a long time ago without you lot. So, it's great to have you with us. Aha! That'll be my scruffy flying assistant, Pedro the piratical parrot post, with this week's shouter. Yes, Pedro, here's your treat. Well, you said last week that you like these nutty bars. No, I'm not giving you my beef jerky. You're just... Give it here. Thank you. Right. Shoo. Right, this week's shout-out goes to Gilpin_Gwen, who not only has been messages on our social media boards, but has also been very generous indeed and donated to the Roll Britannia Cranberry Juice Fund. Thank you so much for the support and kindness. We are so glad that you're enjoying the show. Stand back, it's a random celebrity shout-out! Well, it would seem that David Williams has been listening to the show in his spare time, and apparently is very keen on getting a part in the adventure. Hold on. Wait, it says... This may not be true. Oh, but yes, totally. Definitely true. Yeah, right. Right, now then, you lot. I want a word with you. On our social media, and it's really easy to do because we're all over it. We just are. So just head over to any of the big ones, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord. Just look us up and you can natter with us about the show, pitch some ideas that you'd like to see or hear, I suppose. And if you're really, really lucky, I might even name an NPC after one of you. It's happened before. Hey. Now, podcasts can be reeled from all sorts of places, so wherever you get yours from, why not take a second whilst you're there to really help us out by giving Roll Britannia a lovely 5-star review, eh? The seas are rough and the rocks are sharp in the world of D&D podcasts, so a kind word from you guys really helps us to navigate safely past the hazards and guides more fantastic people just like you to discover the show. And if you haven't already, just bash that subscribe button. Otherwise, Jeff will throw you overboard faster than you can say, do you really think you'll ever actually win the Quartermaster's special prize? Right, that's enough from me. I've got the destinies of those 4 scallywags to shape, and 2 of them are drunk. So stop clattering at my office and get yourselves back to the action. Go!
turn to the rest of the guys, and I'm
Malrus,
sort
you
of
wanna do something?
agog.
I'm just a bit gobsmacked about what happened there.
Same.
I thought I was going to have to do something, but then I remembered what happened last time. And thought,
that was even
chap
cooler
can
than
look
last
after
time.
himself.
I really mistimed my coin flip because they had a load of chat and like there was a bit of normal speed fighting, and then he did his spoof. So like I was trying to get the coin off the floor in time to do it again, and then just
Oh, so you missed the whole... Oh, it was fucking cool.
well,
Did you blink again? Like with your eyes, not with the spell.
Just bent down to pick up
blinked
the
and
coin,
missed it.
stood up and like, ah.
oh, he's going to do it in a minute, bends down, picks up the coin, and then suddenly there's a guy with no arms or legs. It's like, he's done it, I've missed it.
It was bloody brilliant. It's very impressive.
Did he do
we nailed the countdown.
Span and...
there was flips and shit.
Yeah.
You're having this conversation as the crew is starting to go about their business, and Jeff, you see Alan. He's there in a slightly newer outfit with but he has a mop and bucket, and he's mopping up the bloody streak that's been left in the cargo hold where they dragged the body away.
I'm gonna run up to him.
I'll go with you.
Oh, hello,
mate.
Hi.
You passed. What did you have to do? We've been dying to know.
Spot. You missed a spot.
Oh, thank you. Yes, okay.
All of the blood.
It's just a huge smear.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't seen that. Thank you. Yes.
Jump on that, pretty Scottish. What did they make you do?
I had to reorganise the entire library.
Oh.
There's a library.
Yes. Did you not know? How long have you been on this ship?
A while.
It feels like a long time.
They were using the monodecimal system, and I changed it to the Dewey Decimal System.
Oh.
See, I knew you would fly that little test.
I mean, I did it in half a day, so I'm pretty pleased with myself.
That's pretty
half a day.
It is impressive.
No snake fighting, no risk of drowning, nothing.
They didn't make you mop for the test, did they?
No, they just gave me this just now.
Obvious because you're not doing a great job.
You didn't sweep before you started
Derek.
mopping, you amateur.
Well, when I used to mop at the manor, it was all carpet. It was much easier.
Yeah,
I thought that was
you were mopping carpet, were you?
I remember watching you mop carpet, and it was your fault, actually, Derek, if I remember.
Let's not get bogged down in forced to.
Just for any, I think we might just have to redo that bit. Just for anyone listening, who Gazumpa was the one who was cleaning the carpet. Alan was the one who gave us directions to the cleaning.
He did. He's not the only one that's mopped carpets in that house.
Oh my god! At least I feel less of a dick now.
Dirty.
At least
that was the standard cleaning procedure in that house.
The
mop the carpets.
Procedure was mopping the carpets. Okay,
yes.
Right, cool.
Yep.
Sorry. Yep.
Good
fine.
save.
Good save,
Mr. James.
Nicely done.
You not want to throw some sand down on this to soak it up, or?
They said mop.
He knows what he's doing.
Just a bit of advice. I've cleaned up a lot of blood in my day.
I mean, if you've got any carpet, that would make my life a lot easier.
Sure, I'll go and fetch some underlay and we'll get started.
Yeah. Nice. We'll tile this whole area, shall we?
Oh, sounds fantastic.
Clean.
We're going to put
It'll
that
really
wall
raise the
through.
value.
There's going to be a walk-in shower there.
Just really open up the space. Let it breathe.
Luxury is defined by space and light, and that's what we need, really.
Meanwhile, an armless, legless man
is being dragged underneath the ship.
Just having this chat while there's horrified screams of pain.
Can anybody hear that screaming?
What? Sorry? No.
So screaming.
It's just this splash, and then
it's just the waves. Just the waves.
Oh.
So that's what keyholing is.
Yeah, you tie a rope all the way around the ship, or all the length of the ship, and then you tie a person to both ends of that ship, that rope, and then you drag them all the way underneath.
Yeah, with all
until
the
they learn their lesson.
Yes.
But do they survive?
Not usually.
Usually, no.
Just check it. It might be a small boat. I know the Tel Dath's not. It's got a fucking shop and a Nando's, but
It's a library.
It could be really thin and long. I know. All right, it's
like
not.
one pace wide.
Let's not discuss the girth of the Tel Dath.
This whole time we've been just like inching past each other.
Inching past everyone.
The left corridor and the right corridor.
Excuse me, sorry. Pardon me.
It's just the one corridor all the way down.
That's why everyone has to have bunk beds.
Oh, goodness me. So, after all that excitement, you guys have, I don't know what you want to get up to, but Timbers doesn't summon you to his office for a good few weeks. You've got about a month at sea before we get to your destination, and the crew are sort of making the ship ready to go. And you see a few crew for the Lizzie's Revenge disembarking and heading back to their ship. You see Ned Bluebeard heading back over there, and they make way, and they're coming in the same direction as you. They're heading for the same destination. So you have another ship.
How wide is the Lizzie's?
It is approximately 3 feet wide.
It's a narrow boat.
Really big.
Oh, really? No. I mean, it's half a mile long, but it's only 3 feet wide.
Yes.
That's how it can block the entire gap to the bay, because it's just the whole thing. Makes a corridor.
It's horrifyingly unstable in any body of water.
It's really top heavy.
A fence.
Yes, it's a
hollow
fence,
log.
It's a wide fence.
It's a floating barricade, you know. There's Frenchmen waving red flags at the top of it, you know.
They look less miserable.
Oh dear. So my question to you all is:
Captain less miserable would be so good, though.
That's going in. Right. Next time you meet your captain, it is going to be Captain Les Miserable. Leslie Miserable. There we go. So I think it's time to level up. And so as we're going to level up, I think I'd like to know what you guys have been up to throughout this month that has got you to your level up. What have you been doing with your time?
Eating right, exercising, staying at home, saving lives.
Oh, you mean in the podcast?
Yes.
Right.
Eating right,
exercising.
Staying on the ship.
And protecting the NHS. Sorry. So basically, I have the first two. I like to think I probably have been eating right and exercising because I've got a bit buffer. I'm a bit stronger.
Oh, nice.
I've not been doing a lot of exercising. I feel like the first time around I did a lot more exercising. Second couple of times, a lot less exercising.
Okay.
A lot more Netflix and chill.
You've been doing sort of circuit training around the Tel Dath, you know, bench pressing a cannon, you know.
I've been trying to get a bit quicker because
climbing the rigging.
Do you do CrossFit?
Less of that.
Some chin ups from the crow's nest, you know.
I'm nothing that would build like upper body strength. It's more leg.
Oh, leg presses. Okay.
Yeah, sort of lots of leg presses.
A lot of leg day then for you.
Yeah. So I've got quite sizable thighs now, and as a consequence of this, Starflower actually commented on it, and it was like, "Oh my god, she's noticed."
Did she say?
You've got some.
Are you going to exercise any other muscles in your body?
No, she went. Your thighs are too big for those shorts. Don't wear them again.
Oh right. but she did comment.
You know, she noticed them. But she did say that as a consequence, it might be good to teach me a spell called Haste as well.
Okay.
So we've been working on that, and we shall see how I do with it. I mean, actually, it's just an action sound. It's going to work. So yeah, I've got really good at it, and I'm pretty much mastered Haste because of my muscular thighs. Fat thighs.
Tell us about Haste. What does Haste do?
Your muscular thighs.
Haste.
I thought you were going to say, tell us about those thighs.
Describe the thighs.
What are thighs looking like these days?
So, Haste. I can choose a willing creature that I can see within the range, which is 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And until the spell ends, which is up to a minute, unless I use my meta magic.
Ooh.
Coming soon to a podcast near you. Just this one, though.
Very near.
Yeah, really near. Nowhere else. Don't leave us. Until the spell ends, the target speed is doubled. It gains a +2 to AC. It also has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and it gains an additional action on each of its turns.
Ooh.
That action can only be taken in the guise of attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object or action. When the spell ends, the target can't move or take actions until after its next turn, as a wave of lethargy sweeps over it.
Or lethargy.
So essentially, it's... Well, we've got other listeners. But yeah, I think that's quite a good... It's like a little boost power-up for anyone. So I've learnt my lesson a little bit as well. I'm not necessarily going to cast it on other people without asking them. I found...
Well, I mean, they have to be willing, so it's kind of...
Is it a touch, or is it...
Yeah, it is a touch, actually. That's a fair point. They do have to be willing. I always assume everyone around me is willing, but that's, part of the game problem.
And that's why you're not allowed.
No, let's end that sentence there. We're not going to put any potential slurring on anyway. Excellent.
So you learn a new spell, which sounds very exciting, and is going to bring a whole
Also
new
found
dynamic
broccoli,
thing.
Don't like that.
Okay. Oddly specific, like it.
It's part of my healthy eating. I tried loads of different vegetables.
Okay.
Have you tried roasting the broccoli?
Have you tried putting cheese
Derek,
sauce
where the
on
hell
it?
did you come from? This was my...
Ram smasher. Well, this brings me on to me, because I've been working on my stealth skills.
Bring it on. Derek, what happened? What did you get up to for a month?
I'm just slinking around the ship like a no-good...
Ne'er-do-well.
Slinky, yeah. Just like, Derek's been sneaking around, creeping about, under and over, and all the way around, and yeah.
What is this, a
I've
bear
been
hunt?
wobbling free.
So you always feel like somebody's watching you. Well, it's probably Derek.
I do, yeah. It is me. You fucking hope it is. I've just been creeping around, and then if he gets caught, he's been practicing his intimidation skills by going, "You didn't see anything, did you? You didn't bloody see anything." Usually to Yalon.
So you've just been stalking Yalon around the ship.
No, I've not been stalking him, but he keeps like cleaning the decks and all.
Is he
this
still?
kind of
Is it taking him a month to
stuff.
get the blood out of the deck?
Oh, he's scrubbing pretty hard, but he's not doing a good job.
Is that because Derek replaces the blood every night in the dead of night?
Where's he getting it from?
It's just, it's just blood. It's just blood that's been lying about.
Gorgon draining animals out the back.
It's a ship.
Just
What do you
spare
mean?
blood.
But he's caught at
Nobody's going to
sea.
miss it. Don't
Those
worry.
bloody sea deer. The ocean venison.
I think that's called dolphin.
Yeah,
Just these
so
antlers
just been creeping about.
Salt,
Just freezes in the middle of the ocean.
and then saltwater boar. Well, you've got sea cows. What's your problem?
He's been helping Gorgon just, any deer or boar that get mangled in the rudder. Been helping him
Every time
dispose
one
of
comes
them.
through the windscreen,
Yeah.
We've got very off topic. Yes. Really off
Just
topic.
working on his, because now I've got a little bit more health. I feel a little bit better in myself. I've been taking like a daily constitutional, which is me just creeping about the ship and doing a little circuit. So I've now got expertise in both stealth and intimidation.
Wow.
And he's also been carrying with him the gentleman's flat cap, but because he's read the manual,
he's not worn it yet.
Necessarily want to put it on just yet. But it looks pretty tempting.
So it's kind of tucked in his belt at the moment.
Yeah, the label on it says "Don't machine wash. Don't put it on unless you're prepared to suffer the consequences."
Yeah.
That kind of
That's a nice label.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Dry
okay.
clean only. And that's pretty much
Nice.
it.
So
yeah.
a few extra hit. What are your hit points now?
Well, my hit points are 46 now.
What were you before?
41.
41. Oh,
Sorry,
nice.
went up by
Another 5 hit points.
I went up 5 and I'm on 29.
Nice.
you know,
29. Well,
maybe you should-
I remember
don't get
when I
hit.
was on 29.
Be sturdier.
Me too.
And I was young, and I was 29. Oh, back in the day, had the whole world ahead of me.
Okay, let's do Malrus next then.
And just very quickly,
go on.
just been selling stuff out of the wizard's sleeve. Been just giving away, inviting certain riff-raff in, and letting them have like bar fights and stuff to get it out of their system, and
betting on it and racing with
loads
of gold.
pretty much.
Just
How much
tipping
gold has
out the
Derek made?
portal at night.
I've made about $1 million.
About $1 million gold that you've made on bar fights.
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
I do have a question about the wizard sleeve. Have you yet tried taking the handle off a surface while there are still people inside?
I have not.
Okay.
And it's something I'm excited to do.
Okay, cool.
He's thought about it a couple of times, but he thought,
I don't know what will happen yet. So
I don't technically know whether they'll come back.
okay, I was just checking.
Interesting.
Okay. Malrus?
So, I guess during the month's voyage, I had a bit of time to reflect on the events of what happened on the Nemonis Island.
Yes.
With all the killing.
Much killing.
How
Much
evil
killing.
am I?
Mass murder.
I've in fact moved out of the bunk for a little while.
Ah.
Who's not
but
sharing now?
Before I left, I did nail my race car bed to the floor, just so nobody moved it. But other than that, me and Jeff have had a bit of a heart-to-heart, and we've got up to a few shenanigans. And I've basically sort of moved to the Crow's Nest because I like it up there.
Drafty.
It's nice, good view. So I've made myself some sort of hermit shelter.
Nice.
Sorry, so you said hermit shelter. I just imagined Malrus walking around with a big crab shell on his back.
Looking for slightly larger shells
to move into.
He just like scuttles into a cannon, and then he's like, "Oh, a barrel scuttled into that."
And eventually found his way to the Crow's Nest, and now there's nothing else around him, so he's just staying there.
So I'm guessing you put up some sort of bivouac up there. That's
yeah.
Okay. Because if it rains, you're just going to get real wet otherwise.
Yes, yeah.
Me and Malrus
I did think about that.
We had a few shenanigans because I found him by accident as I used the Crow's Nest ladder to build up my leg muscles, climbing up and down it.
When you're doing chin-ups off the Crow's Nest itself, you popped up and went, "Oh, hello, Malrus."
You look,
you
look fantastic.
Just leg ones.
One-armed chin-ups,
I'd hooked my legs around it, and I was sort of like, as I sat up, as I pulled myself up, it was like, "Oh, hello, you're here." This is embarrassing, and I almost fell, but managed just have enough power to hold on, and then we started chatting and had a few shenanigans.
So I have written I mean, I'm not sure what we're calling it. What are we calling it, Dungeon Master?
I don't.
Letter of sorts.
Yes, letters are a thing. Yes.
Okay, so I've written a letter to Karina, basically letting her know that it was.
Oh yeah, we discussed this.
Well, we're sorry that we left in a hurry, and me and Keth tried to find her, and that Jeff still talks about her often and refers to her as the one that got away.
I mean, he hasn't mentioned her once.
And
I'm not sure he remembered she existed.
Basically, doesn't have to. Basically, doesn't have to worry about the Butcher of Shark Bay anymore because he's not going to be bothering anybody.
Okay.
Or is he?
P.S. Do you like the way I've redecorated the parlour room?
In a sort of crispy brown.
As an artist, What do you think to my Jackson Pollock approach to the decorating with his head?
Don't move any of the furniture because you'll ruin the pattern.
We feng shuied it just as we like it.
In terms of level up, I've gone from 38 hit points to 42, accounting for the lost HP when I got me whip. And I've got a few more spell slots.
Nice.
And my Channel Divinity Cloak of Shadows has actually sort of got a little bit better.
Okay. What does that do?
I can use my Cloak of Shadows says as a reaction to taking damage, you can expend your use of your channel divinity to turn invisible until the end of your next turn. You remain invisible until you attack, make a damage roll, or force somebody to make a saving throw.
Sounds badass.
That's pretty good.
It looks like it just got a little bit better.
Nice. So that is very good. So let's do this postal thing. So you've got a letter. And the Tel Dath does have a post office.
Of course it does.
It's quite...
Well, if it's got a nat 20...
it does, yeah. It's quite far down in the ship, though. It's actually got... you go down quite a few flights of stairs and an escalator.
And an escalator.
A travelator, escalator, one of the glass ones so you can see all the way. You can
get a lift.
Well, once in Gladiator, you've got to run up.
Yes, yeah.
That's what Jeff's been training on.
The wrong way.
Yeah. And you eventually get to this door that just says Tel Dath Post on it. And as you go in, there's not very much in there. There's a few sort of the wire frame things that spin round that have sort of booklets in. It's got tourist information about the Tel Dath. They're all the same booklet.
Ooh. I might get a map.
Yeah. 20 gold. And
sold.
Gold.
Is that just so James now has to draw a map of the Tel Dath for you?
Yes, he does.
I mean, I can, but you'll find out what 20 gold's worth of map buys you.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a kiddie's drawing. Pirate ship. You are here.
A lot of blue scribble that just says ocean.
Yeah. If wet, not on board anymore.
And there's a sea deer just skipping along.
Skipping along, being hit by a car.
Just one on the side of the sea.
I'd like
Here be deer.
Here was
like
deer.
Sea deer to be invented, please.
Okay. And apart from this, there is a bureau de change, and it says gold. It has the price of gold, and then underneath it, the price of gold, and it's exactly the same because everything has one currency.
But that's just madness.
One for one. Yes. Although there is a fee of 15 gold to change it, so
that's genius. Just a stupidity tax, that is.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and apart from that, there's a sort of counter with some pigeonholes behind it, and one of those sort of bits of counter that that can lift up so you can get behind if you work there, and a bell on the counter top. One of those sort of ding service please ones.
Yeah. I'm going to ding it.
Okay, you ding it, and from a back room comes a figure wearing a sort of leather singlet type thing. Not like a vest, but like a sort of... It's hard to describe. Like a sleeveless shirt almost, but sort of skin tight. And he's wearing 3/4 length...
One of the gladiators.
Sort of 3/4 length trousers and no shoes. And the reason he's not wearing any shoes, yes, they're chaps. And
that's what my postie wears.
Your postie wears
so
chaps.
well at Christmas.
His tip shows it.
So well.
I'm sure his tip does show at Christmas if he's wearing assless chaps.
There's no one else. Oh, he only comes to our house. Oh, well, anyway.
Does he deck his balls with bells of holly?
Well, he comes on your house anyway. Goodness me. And swallow, Alex.
Oh, that's what said.
Just what the postman ordered.
And the reason he's not wearing any shoes and is wearing a sort of sleeveless top is because on his arms and lower legs he has sort of fins. And he's kind of bluish green in colour, and he has sort of dark greyish blue, very wet looking hair. And on his back, he's carrying a satchel, and he has a few sort of other sort of packages sort of attached on his belt and on his back, and he's carrying a sort of cylindrical waterproof container, and he sort of slightly squelched into the room because he's very wet. And as he opens the door to come into the room, you catch a glimpse of what appears to be the dancing light that comes from the sort of light that you get from rippling water. And
low down.
he comes in. You're very low down, and he comes in. And he says, "Hello,
Hello.
hello, can I help you?"
Oh, he's Welsh as well.
Oh dear.
And all of Wales has just tuned out.
Sorry, Dads and Dragons.
You got bored with individual shops and chains, so you've gone for countries now.
Well, we're trying to diversify.
When we said we want to move up in the world, that wasn't what we meant, Tom.
It just fell out.
That's what your postman said.
Well, the next time I see him, I'm not going to look at him the same way. He won't know why.
No, you won't.
I've got this letter.
Where are you going?
To Karina Hachette, the artist.
How do you know her?
How are you doing this without editing effects? Like, what are you doing with your mouth?
It's really good, isn't it? It's really
insane.
James is from the sea.
Yeah. We met her on an island that we were just at. I don't know where she lives, but I guess Anybody remember where she lives? I guess send it to Neverwinter.
But if it's been about...
Send it
to Nemonis Island with like a forward.
Send it to Nemonis Island. Yeah.
You can say like, but please forward to.
Yeah. Please.
There you go.
Thank you.
Give him his
and he pulls
gold.
out a rubber stamp, stamps the letter, and puts it in his satchel, and he says, "Anything else I can help you with?"
No, I'm good, thanks.
How about a nice day?
And you? I'm just going to wave to him and leave because that was weird.
I like how you actually waved as well.
Just in case we didn't know what a wave was.
I thought it was a sea joke. Never mind.
Oh dear.
Mexican? No.
Malrus does the Mexican wave just on his own. He
just waits, looks around the room for like 10 seconds, then does another one.
There's no one else in the room.
Okay. So you sent your post to Nemonis Island with the hopes that if Karina is not there, it will get forwarded onto her, because if any of the staff survived, then they'll probably have a forwarding address for her. Maybe.
Yeah.
Is he a water boy?
Nah.
Is that the joke of the post thing? Like, that was what I thought the Discord thing was all about. I was like, suddenly clicked and was like, oh my god, he's a water boy. That's genius.
No, you just have to read back through that Discord chat. I mean, there was a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's you leveled up. You've got a few extra hit points, but you lost 5 of them because of your deal with the god.
Yeah, and I lost a few other things as well. I lost insight.
You did lose some insight, and you have gained vulnerability
to radiant damage.
Yes, which is entertaining for a cleric.
Yeah.
Sort of god damage.
Yeah.
Holy damage.
Holy damage.
Light damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy Malrus.
Well.
So the one who deals holy damage is also vulnerable to it.
Yep. Smart move.
Yeah, I know,
Smart
right?
move making that.
It seems like
They'll never suspect it.
No, that's true.
Exactly.
It's the full Baldric. I'm carving my name in this bullet because I feel if I own the bullet with my name on it, I'll never get hit by it because I won't shoot myself. Oh, that's a pity.
I think as I leave the post office,
you hear a splash in the background.
I'm just gonna.
Wow, that is great service if he's off already.
Yeah,
that's just the keel
put my hand.
With one letter. He's fucking exhausted. He can't keep
Someone else
coming back
walks
and
in
forward.
30 seconds later, is like dinging for fucking weeks on the bell because the guy's gone with one letter. Nemesis Islander back.
Yep.
Malrus just walks back in like 30 seconds.
I didn't say it was a good
Sorry,
postal service.
I spelt the name wrong. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't mean Nemesis Island. I meant the one. Oh shit. Anyone got his stone of fast speech number?
Watch him
As
disappear into
I
the horizon.
leave the post office,
Catching number
I'm
4,
gonna
please.
reach in. I'm gonna reach into my pocket, and I'm gonna pull out one of the only sort of personal possessions that I've got left.
Okay.
And that's it's a sort of purpley blue stone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna sort of chuck it up into the air and catch it and just hold it in my hand, and I'll look at it and think to myself about the last time I saw my brother Milo, and just sort of pop it back in my pocket as I walk off to try and find Jeff.
Okay. Okay. Keth?
Well,
What have you been doing this month?
Well, what Keth has been doing is that he realised with all of the interrogations and all the intelligence stuff that was required in the last round, it wasn't his strength at all. So he's trying to develop himself in a more intellectual sort of way.
He's gone to the library.
He has gone to the library since he found out about it in the Fight Club fight.
But he can't find any of the books that he's looking
No,
for.
he can't read.
They're really badly
So-
organised.
So it's all nonsense. But he has learnt. He has upgraded himself a little bit more. He's now got another favoured enemy.
Nice.
And he's proficient in another language, so he can speak Common and Elvish and Gnomish and Orc, of course. So he's pretty lingual. He's handy, at an international.
He learned a
cocktail
whole language
party.
in a month. I'm impressed.
Oh yeah,
He's a natural.
So we thought, well, that was a good start.
Can't read, but can read, learn a language.
Yeah.
He has this as an app on the Stone of Fast feature that bothers
Photographic
him.
hearing.
I mean, he wasn't ready for. He didn't go in to learn a language, but unfortunately, Yalan's organised all the books by colour, so that was the only book you could find.
There we go.
Oh
So
no!
then I
Did he
thought,
not
what-
understand what the Dewey Decimal System was?
No, he's just arranged them like in rainbow.
But said it was the Dewey Decimal
Yes.
System. Oh, for
It
fuck's
amazed
sake.
Keth, so he's like, well, cool. This must
How
be
did
Dewey
that pass the
Decimals.
test? Fair play.
He only knows. So Keth only knows what conversational Gnomish, and he can order a coffee in Elvish.
Everyone's got the same
That's it.
name. This is my friend Stephen. But in different languages. Why is everyone called Stephen?
He can say the phrase "Otto the cat sits under the table" in every language known.
Oh my goodness!
That's
It is
going
cold.
to come
said the
in.
snowman.
That's going to come in very useful.
Where is the swimming pool?
This way to the cathedral.
Yes.
In all sorts of different languages.
Yeah, it's
my
good.
favourite colour is red.
How much are the apples?
Very useful conversational phrases.
Okay, cool.
That was gnomish.
So you got
And then he
what's
thought-
your new favourite enemy?
Gnomish. So the gnomes.
Gnomes. Okay, fine.
What's a favoured
Gnomes.
enemy?
Someone who you are particularly good at beating up, in essence.
Yeah.
So you chose small people.
Is this why you were thinking of potentially take on?
Well, he's got a bit smaller, so they're a bit bigger to him now.
Yeah, so we're getting we're coming on an even playing field, which is another thing that has been doing in the last month is that now that Keth is shorter, he's overcompensating and trying to make himself wider by just all weights. He even wrote a training program for Jeff, but when he gave it over to him, Jeff lost the page for upper body and only used the lower body.
The lower body. Nice.
So it's gone really well.
He's an excellent trainer. Like the exercises are bang on.
It's been perfect. I was like, but Keth's
Just
been
started at page
bemused by
16, you know?
There's no shoulders or anything happening, but the thighs and arse are tremendous. So great work. And then there's been And then he's been spending cosy evenings in the pocket pub with Bill, congratulating him. And then he's come up with a business plan because he came up with a beer.
Okay.
That because he acquired the beer sink.
Yes.
So he needed a name for the name of the beer, and because he's very imaginative, he's gone for the name of Yeast Master.
I love
because
it
he's
so
a
much.
beast master, and there's yeast in beer, which is Keth's favourite drink.
Okay.
So he's thinking about plugging that into the pocket pub. And make...
Well, we can always sell a few jars.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like we're going to run out of stock anytime soon.
So what it means with that level
This,
up is my HP.
This bar fight is sponsored by Yeast Master.
It was either that or yeast infection, and I didn't think that would sell very well. So I went with Yeast Master instead.
You could have gone with yeast injection, like you were getting the injection of yeast.
Still doesn't sound
Okay.
Yeah, still not a great name.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now
Master's definitely better.
So you
now up to 50 HP.
50. Ooh,
Nice.
ooh.
So I was on
Beefy
42
boy.
and I rolled well.
He's beefy. You did do
Beefy
some
boy.
Beefy.
So now he's a bit stronger, and he's also trimmed down the army for a bit because it was getting ridiculous the amount of weapons he had.
Well, actually,
so,
you say this now, but you did buy Bob.
I did
And
buy Bob.
Bob is
comes with a price.
aside from Bob's other aspects, Bob is primarily a bag of holding, which is an infinitely large space in which to store whatever you want.
It's like a Mary Poppins knapsack.
You can have all of your weapons
Pretty much
with you, so you don't need to leave them on the Dath. I mean, you won't have them equipped, so if you want to equip them, you will have to reach into Bob and get the item and run the risk of pulling out, say,
reaching into
a drop
somebody
bear.
called Bob. like a vet.
Just put your hand in, and there is a drop bear on.
Be.
You know,
That'd be a great magic trick.
I'll leave it up to you which end, but you know,
Depends how well you roll.
yeah.
The business end or the
Which end's worse?
Half the end.
Nat 20 is you pull out by the nostrils, so you're fine.
Okay. So everyone's done some leveling up. We're all a bit stronger, wiser, better prepared.
Wider.
I wouldn't
Wider.
say wiser.
I do have one final question before we move on. We know that Malrus is now sleeping in the crow's nest.
Mm-hmm.
There are only 2 bunks left. Are we?
Dibs.
Are you still continuing to share, the two of you?
Well, I'm not going to disrespect Malrus by sleeping in his bed while he's not there, am I?
I'm just checking.
As I snuggle up to Keth.
Okay, cool, fine. That's absolutely fine. I just wanted to check. Just wanted to see what the sleeping situation was.
even if you top and tail, all the naughty bits are still in the middle.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
So it's about a month later, and you, I think, maybe Keth and Jeff, you're doing a bit of weight training together for once. Just just doing a bit of weight training. And Derek, you're spying on them.
I'll just
Ranking.
take
Oh,
my
sorry.
breath away. Dun, dun, dun.
And
watching in slow motion.
Malrus,
He
you're
flips
I don't know,
his
you're
hair
probably
and there's
wandering
all
around doing
sweat.
something Malrus.
I'm waiting outside of Nando's.
You're still waiting outside the Nando's. Okay.
I just sort of walked by just to check, see if it was open.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
Obviously isn't.
I mean, it's
Every
not
10
open
minutes.
yet. You can see that they've started putting some paint on the walls.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
If
So
only
that's-
they had a
that's
chicken
nice.
supplier of some sort.
I mean, I can go in and offer to help if it's going to speed things up.
Yeah, maybe. And you all hear over the tannoy, you hear your names being called out, and it says, "Will Frost Iron, Toss Cobble, Silverbow, and Normal Beard, please come to Timbers, Captain,
Worse. Oh.
Cabin.
Is she having?
Sorry.
I think it's broken.
Hello?
Is she
What?
having
Has
a
it-
stroke or something?
What?
Oh. Signal's dropping.
Oh.
Shall we go?
Either she was just killed by a computer virus or her signal just dropped. So.
What's a computer?
She sounds retired.
You head in.
He probably should soon.
Every time. Okay. So are you all going to head off to Timber's cabin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to bundle up my most important things and take them with me.
Okay.
I'm going to just instinctively, like, the sun catches me at an odd angle, and I'm going to just like, oh god, and then I flip the cap on.
Ooh.
Oh, you're popping the cap on. Okay.
Yeah, which means I got to roll a wisdom
Please
save.
do.
I'm going to make sure I'm wearing my Edward Teacher's ring. So that gives me +1 intimidation.
That's a big, that's a big 9.
It's not going to do it.
Right then, lads. So we headed up to the captain's cabin then.
Yeah.
Come on then.
Boston.
It's pretty hard to do, Derek.
Derek, what's going on with your voice?
No.
What's happened to you?
Nothing's happened to my voice, mate.
What?
Oh, bloody hell! I think it might be this act that I've got on.
What was it?
Your accent is sort of circulating around the Midlands. Sometimes it's Walsall, then it's Wolverhampton.
Well, I've never been there, so it's really difficult to do a Brummy accent with Derek's like.
I told you, man.
I've got to be honest, I'm impressed.
I've been practicing, a couple of since the last time we recorded this when I bought the bloody app. So
good.
All right, lads. So we headed off then.
Right.
Yeah. I think,
okay. So you all go to
business
Timbers' cabin, and as you enter, Timbers is sat at his
desk. I think I've got
desk.
something stuck in my throat.
He says, hello, boys.
All right, boss.
Sorry.
That's a very unusual accent you have acquired there. Whom have you been spending time with?
I just on my Todd. I've ran a couple of bar fights and stuff, but I don't. It's just giving me a bit. I feel a bit weird, to be honest, mate.
You're looking a bit peaky, mate.
I feel it,
You don't sound as sharp as you used to.
No.
We'll get to the bottom of this
blinded, though, isn't it?
strange occurrence in due course. Boys, I have to tell you, we are very nearly at our destination, and I have one thing that I need to tell you. And we'll leave it there.
I was going to ask him how his tummy was. Timbers, how's the tummy?
So Jeff, being drunk, is now barred from our goose, and Timbers face mutiny over a shortage of doubloons. In bullet time, the captain put an end to it fast. So the Bucks then recounted their month on the Dath. Jeff got his legs buff, Derek gained expertise, Malrus missed his brother, and Keth became master of the East. How will their Bucks spend the next month in their calendar? Find out next time on Roll Britannia.
Oh, hey. You're still here. Good. It's great to, hang out right to the end, FOMO and all that. Yeah. So, hope you enjoyed the episode. Oh, by the way, if you're looking for something to fill the gap until next week's episode, I've got some great news for you. I've got another show you can check out. You like to take my advice and just check out some of these recommendations because honestly, I only recommend the best, and that is true. Yeah. So make sure you check these guys out. There's a little promo for them coming up just after this. They're another team of Dungeons and Dragons. They're playing a 5th edition version of Dungeons and Dragons like us. They're called Tabletop Vagabonds, and they are very, very entertaining. Definitely worth checking them out. And yeah, let me know what you think. Say hello. Say that we said... Tell them I sent you. All right, check them out. See you next week.
Hey there, I'm Alex.
And I'm Amy, and we're part of Tabletop Vagabonds podcast.
Tabletop Vagabonds is a D&D 5e actual play podcast set in the homebrew world of Aria. Aria is a world of magic and mayhem with airships in the sky, talking cats and mice, and the occasional rocking svart.
Ooh.
We release a bi-weekly or fortnightly podcast.
Getting in there for all the different viewers. Global there.
Exactly.
To learn more about all of our antics, come find us at tabletopvagabonds.com.
Or check us out on your preferred podcast platform.
Here's a peek of what you can expect.
We'll be seeing you at Unity Day.
See you guys soon.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I thought this plan was going to be a bit different.
I'm fairly sure I've crushed a few of my birds.
You don't think this is a trap, do you?
What? Gleben's a good friend to us now.
The kind of friend you let munch on your arm a little bit.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.